So we all know that in accountancy numbers are really important, but sometimes we forget to look at the numbers that aren't in the accounts. And there's so much you can do when you really understand the numbers in your business. In fact, an old colleague of mine used to say, if you shake the numbers hard enough, the answers will fall out. And I think that's a really good one to remember. So I'd like to talk a little bit about a term which you may know, and that's the Pareto Principle. And the Pareto Principle is also known as the 80-20 rule. So 80-20 rule. And it's called the Pareto Principle because it was kind of discovered by an economist, an Italian economist called Vilfredo Pareto, who in 1896 was doing a study that found that 80% of the wealth in Italy was owned by 20% of the population, 80% of the land. And he thought this was really interesting, so he rolled it out to look at other areas and other events and other populations. And he found that this principle seemed to be true in so many different circumstances. So why it works isn't so relevant. I think the fact that is relevant is that it does seem to work, and it will be at work in your business. And only by understanding it and looking out for it and really measuring it will we understand whether it's working for us or against us, and what we can do with that information to improve the results we're getting, the productivity that we've got, the wealth and money that we're making, and all sorts of other areas within the business. So how's it operating in your business? Let's look at clients. Do 80% of your clients generate 20% of the profit, and vice versa? Do 20% of your clients give you 80% of the hassle and the challenges in your business? And what about new business? Does 80% of your new business and your new leads and your new inquiries come from 20% of your lead generation strategies? Well, if that's the case, what can you do to improve those numbers and make that work better for you? And what about business meetings? Certainly in my old corporate life, we found that 80% of the decisions came from 20% of the discussions. And once you understand that, it's very easy actually to refocus a meeting and make sure it's very, very outcome driven. And then, dare I say it, there's your team to consider. It's pretty common knowledge that in schools, 80% of the trouble and 80% of the upheaval comes from 20% of the students. If that's the case in your team, then maybe there's something that needs to be done about that. So again, it's just about looking at the business slightly differently, looking at the results you're getting and thinking about how you might be able to use this 80-20 rule to improve those results. So the easiest way for me to suggest you grade your clients is to ABCD them. And ABCD is pretty self-explanatory, but you might want to have a bit of fun and make those words count for something. So A, your amazing clients. B are your basic clients, or your bread and butter really of any business. C, they cause a bit of trouble. You can't deal with them maybe. And D, don't even go there. Thankfully we don't have any D grade clients in accountancy, but D's are the ones that really cause the maximum of trouble for the littlest of reward. So then what you need to do is, once you've graded your clients, is put on some strategies to move them up the ladder a little bit. And I tend to draw a line here and say that these ones, as we say, you don't want to go near. We want to get rid of those clients. And the easiest way to do that, potentially, is just put the prices up. So if you put the prices up, it's a nice polite way to say, look, this isn't working as a relationship. And most of them will move off by their own accord. Some of them actually will choose to stay, and they'll choose to stay and pay you properly. And if they do that, then they're no longer a D grade client, are they? And do remember that your D grade client is somebody else's A grade client. So it'd be really helpful if you can partner with another firm who might be able to look after that client. So you're moving them on rather than just leaving them to suffer on their own. And let's spend more time though focusing on your A grade clients. So what can you be doing with those clients to make them feel really special, and to work them up what we call the ladder of loyalty, and turn them into essentially salespeople for your business. But more on that later. So if we were working together right now and I was saying we've got some homework to do, it would be to identify the attributes of your A-grade client, and whether that is that they pay on time, they're pleasant to deal with, they're profitable, and you just like working with them. Identify what those attributes are, and then start to grade your clients according to that. And one final word of warning or caution or something to say about this is, if you can't find 20% of your clients that are A-grade clients to you, you need to take a long, hard look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you an A-grade supplier? And what do you need to do? And have conversations, talk to some of your clients about this. What do you need to do to become an A-grade supplier to them?